Hello friends, welcome to episode 10 of New Indian Woman. This episode is airing in the second week of Jan 2020. Best wishes to all the listeners for a wonderful year and a new decade. Season's greetings also for Sankranti, Pongal or the harvest season you celebrate locally if you are in India. I would like to start this year by thanking you all for your wonderful support of New Indian Woman podcast. I'm so happy to share this is the 10th episode of the podcast and we are almost at 200 people listening per episode. Thanks a lot for your support. And to think of last year this time, this was just a goal I had written on a piece of paper. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, a goal and not a resolution. This is a season for making resolutions, for which most of the time we end up making excuses throughout the year. Then we look back with guilt by end of the year, only to make fresh ones again. Yes, I have done those too. But then, a goal is different from a resolution. I will not bore you with the difference in the definitions between goal and resolution. Let us see what made my goal of launching a podcast written on a piece of paper go from the status of I will launch a podcast to yes, successfully done and going to 10th episode now. I am sure sharing this will help you in your own journey. First and foremost, why January? Well, why not? On the same lines, why not February or March or any other month or middle of the month? There is nothing sacred about January and there is nothing wrong with this month, this week, whatever. Especially if you are listening to this episode much later. There is no reason to wait. For me personally, after so many years in the corporate world, I am so used to the annual and quarterly cycles. Start of a year and a quarter excite me. To some extent, even sometimes start of the month. I like the idea of yearly goals and quarterly goals across all of my focus areas. Yearly goals, quarterly goals. Why do them at all? You may be thinking, am I not living life well without setting goals? Yes, you may be. But with goal setting, you may achieve more. By this, I don't mean add more tasks to your already overflowing to-do list. Goal setting will help you focus on what you feel is important. It would result in having the right kind of tasks in your to-do list, in addition to what is already there, or maybe you will remove some from there. The kind of tasks that will bring happiness and an increased sense of fulfillment. We all know how things are likely to get postponed in the busyness of living. That is, being busy all the time. What we want to do gets lost among us trying to live our life across work, home, children, and various other responsibilities and interests that seem to hijack our time all the time. Before long, we forget we want to do these things. When I take sessions on productivity for women, I observe two things. One, when I ask people what they would like to accomplish or their aspiration or dream, they are just blank. This is especially true of women who are married and with children. I'm not saying all of them, but most. The second observation is that the younger people in the crowd, especially the ones who are just out of college and have started work, they put their dreams and aspirations out there. They want to achieve those. So what's happening? We tend to forget our talents, what brings us joy and our dreams and aspirations once we take up responsibilities and get along with life. There are times in our life when the kids are really young or someone in the family or we ourselves are ill when we get into the day-to-day survival mode alone. But then it is also important for us to realize when we come out of this phase. We need to know just survival and living to perform our duties and responsibilities alone is not enough. We need to remind ourselves of our skills and talents, our dreams and aspirations, and realize we need to start somewhere. Why? Because this is going to make us happy. In today's world, with all the opportunities around us, we need to adapt to more efficient ways of doing what we have to do so that we have the time and energy to do what we want to do. And that is why we should set goals, to push ourselves in that direction, to live a more happy and fulfilling life using all the opportunities around us. If you are the kind of person with amazing willpower, ability to say no to many things, and always be clear on your priorities, you may not want to write these goals down. For lesser mortals like me and many of you listening out there, I am sure you would gain a lot by writing these goals down. I would say this is just the first step to making these happen. For me, writing down the goals have really helped. Or putting it differently, I'm fairly clear I would not have achieved or even tried or even set aside time for many things over the last several years without actively defining goals. By now, you may be wondering, why should I listen to this episode? What's in it for me? You may feel you are not the person who should be doing goal setting. It's meant for others. Let me tell you, regardless of your age, whether you are working in a firm or you are a housewife or stay-at-home mom or a student, you will only gain from setting goals. I can already hear some of you saying, I'm already managing the house, going for work, taking care of the children. What more should I do? Or you as a student or who has just started your career may be saying, why now? Let me relax and have fun for some time. Why should I have any goal? I have achieved my dream of being on my own feet. What more? Or maybe some of you who are older may be saying, I have lived this life doing these things. And why should I do anything different now? And some of you may be empty nesters, with children having relocated for work or marriage or studies. And suddenly you may be saying, why should I do anything new? And what will others say? And what is it that I can do now? Easy questions, but not easy answers. It is for you to find the answers. Regardless of your scenario, there is an opportunity for you to be more happy, to be more fulfilled. Imagine for a moment you want to use this opportunity well. And with this positive outlook and with an open mind, I request you to listen to the rest of this episode. Well, what could possibly be our goal? Apart from an obvious and very popular one like I would like to reduce weight this year, most of us will draw a blank. So what do? Well, a widely accepted practice is to look across each of the spheres of our life. That is work, family and friends, home, finance and self. Let us examine work first. Now, if you are not working in an office, does it mean you will not have a goal in this area? I think this is where you should look at your dreams, aspirations, your strengths and talents, and put across some goals, and that will count. Work doesn't have to mean that you earn money from it. Let us discuss some samples of goals. In the area of work, it could be starting a business or a social enterprise, moving to a better job, volunteering for a specific cause, resume a hobby like painting or sewing or quilting or writing, like decision on college or immediate career options. This, I mean, not for the parents, but for the young people out there listening to this. When it comes to the focus area of family and friends, the goals could be travel to a specific place, network more, increase family time, organize get-togethers. Now let us examine in the home front. It could be setting up a kitchen garden or a terrace garden, or adopting a simpler living or an environment-friendly lifestyle, decluttering the house, starting to do home composting, or distributing the chores across all family members. Let us come to finance. It may be saving or earning a specific amount this year, or understanding the family finance or investment or insurance, all these details. This is one area where Indian women typically stay away from. Now let us come to self. And this is the one that women generally tend to ignore, thinking that their life should be meant to sacrifice for the family. So the goals in this area could be learning something like swimming, a new language, a specific course, or a new instrument. Spending more time outdoors or enjoying nature, doing yoga or meditation. These were just some of the examples. And believe me, there is no such thing as big goal or small goal. If you're absolutely blank and struggling, not knowing what should be your goal, let your first goal be that itself. Identify my goal for this year in at least one of the areas. I would suggest not to start from the point of our specific constraints. Like, do I have time for this, or would this be applicable for me? For example, a young mother who has taken a break from work may have very little time on hand. Instead of starting from, what can I do during the time my child is away at preschool? A better place is to start from, what is the goal I want to achieve? Once we are clear on the goals, we will be able to have a better chance of finding time to make this happen. For the year 2019, launching the podcast was a big goal for me. Over the last few years, I have been wanting to engage in this area, to have a forum for all of us to share, learn and figure out better ways to inspire each other, but wasn't sure how to do this. I started listening to podcasts towards end 2017, and by mid 2018, I felt this could be the way to engage. No, I was convinced this is the best way to reach out to busy women out there, as podcast is a type of media that allows you to listen while you are busy doing something else. I had no idea how to start or what to do. But the more I thought about it and discussed with a few of my friends, I was clear this is the way to go. So in the first week of Jan 2019, I defined my goal to launch the podcast. I had earlier said that we should write down the goals. Yes, write down on a piece of paper, but more importantly, write them down in the smart way with clear milestones. When I say SMART, I am not using the word in its normal English meaning. SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, rewarding, and time bound. Now let us look at the goal of I will save more this year. Is it a SMART goal? No. To make it SMART, I need to make it specific. Like save from my salary and not say expecting arbitrary returns from the stock market I have no control over. Measurable. That is a specific amount, say minimum 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees per month. Achievable. I'm not targeting something completely outside my reachability, like I will save 1 crore this year. Rewarding. Towards advance for a house or a vehicle or a vacation or education. Means there is some specific reward you have targeted for yourself. And time bound. It means by a certain date. So instead of saying I will save more money this year, my SMART goal would be something like I will save minimum rupees 3,000 per month from my salary and target 40,000 saving by December for a vacation. How do you like this? Isn't it very clear? I would suggest you first write down your simple goal. Like we discussed in the examples, in each of the areas, be it work, family and friends, home, finance and self. First write down the simple version and then convert it into a SMART goal. If you're doing this for the very first time, I suggest you pick up just 2 areas and define your goals there. For my podcast, the goal read as launch a podcast with some specifics on the scope of the podcast, of course, latest by August 17th of 2019. Now that the goal definition is over, the next step is to detail out the actions for the goal. List out the broad set of steps you need to accomplish to meet the goal. So maybe 8 to 10 steps. It would be a good idea to group a few of these steps to mini goals with its own timelines. In the case of the saving money example, the first mini goal may be to finalize the monthly savings amount. It may consist of actions like examining the expenses over the last few months, arriving at the monthly budget, identifying the amount to be kept aside for emergencies, and then calculating the minimum amount to be kept for savings. The next mini goal may be to identify where the savings should be done, which financial instrument, namely a recurring deposit or systematic investment plan or SIP into mutual funds, and so on. These are required for you to 1. Have clarity on what you need to do, and 2. to keep having interim milestones or checkpoints to make sure this is happening in the right direction. For the podcast, I had milestones to research, learn how to technically enable the podcast, and then to arrive at draft content for the first few episodes. When you define in this manner, you can correct the steps when you go ahead. For example, my first mini goal of research led me to an online course on podcasting, and what I learned in that course made me change the subsequent mini goals. The goal definition part is over. Now comes the toughest part. It is not enough to write down the goals and detail out the steps and mini goals on a piece of paper. You need to make sure you set aside time for these in your day-to-day life. Otherwise, one day will lead to another, and worse, we will feel bad about yet another thing we wanted to but didn't do. So how exactly do we do this? How exactly do we make sure we set aside time and do the required tasks consistently? Some of your goals may require getting into habits. The most popular weight loss goal would translate into habits. Habits like following a diet plan every day, exercising for say 30 minutes or so a week, 3 times a week, going for 45-minute walks 4 times a week, etc. You need to figure out when in your daily schedule you can set aside time for exercise or walks. This doesn't mean you will do it at that specific time of the day. There will be days when something else on higher priority takes up that slot, and within a few days you are likely to fall out of the habit. My suggestion is that you use a habit tracker. Be it a habit tracker app installed on your mobile phone that reminds you, or a sheet where you list down your habits and mark against the same as done or not done by putting a tick mark or a cross. There are lots of free habit tracker printables available in the internet. Search and print one of them and use the same. If every day you update your habit tracker, you will very soon try to be regular in your habit as well. Like if you missed your typical early morning walking, you are likely to go for a quick walk after lunch in office or at night before going to bed when you know that you can put a tick mark in your habit tracker. For a goal which is not translating into a habit, how to set aside time? In my experience, setting aside time for these goals on a daily basis do not work. And I was very happy and relieved to see many interesting articles by productivity experts say the same. So what is more likely to work? Setting aside time on a weekly basis. Let us look at some of the examples we discussed and see why setting aside time on a weekly basis will work. For the money saving goal, if you decide to set aside 30 minutes every day the next 2 weeks to do analysis and meet the first mini goal of finalizing the monthly saving amount, it is unlikely to happen. It means every day you need to have the willpower to focus on this goal. Instead, if you decide, I will complete the analysis of my recent expenses by end of this week, you are likely to come to this task as and when you get some free time. Depending on your workload on each day, you have the freedom to decide how much you can focus on this task. You may do it on some days, you may not do it on some other days. Which really means that you should look at your mini goals while planning for your week. Yes, you need to decide what are the most important things you want to accomplish in the coming week as well. Otherwise, as I said earlier, life will just proceed with a set of to-do lists for each day, and the important things would remain in your wish list. So this is one new habit of what is the most important thing, or what are the most important things that I should accomplish in the coming week. Most importantly, this method of weekly focus will allow for us to move closer towards the goal without putting additional pressure on ourselves. Next is, how many goals? Just because you define goals across all areas like work, home, family, friends, etc., it doesn't mean that you should focus on all these goals at once. Actually, you should define the timeline for these goals in such a way that it doesn't become too much for you. Maybe a finance-related goal you will start from the beginning of next financial year, say April, and a work-related goal you will define to have a deadline by June. Maybe a travel or a get-together goal is targeted for October, and so on. This will give you enough time to spread out and achieve many things throughout the year. Similarly, for the goals that require habits, do not introduce too many habits at once. Start one or two at a time. I would say the most important habit you should introduce is weekly planning. Let us remember that life is not going to come to a standstill to enable us to pursue our goals. Most of the things that we do today in our day-to-day life will have to continue while we also pursue our goals. Your current responsibilities are not going to reduce or vanish. The only way you can find time for your goals is to make sure you plan efficiently. And for this, the first step required is to identify where your time is going right now. When I take sessions and ask people to write down how they spend their day, I don't see anyone saying they spend their time on their mobile. The time log for a day will feature them waking up, cooking or chores in the house, going for work, then coming back, again housework, time with family, etc., etc. But when I asked the same people to use an app to figure out how long they were using the mobile phone, it was coming to 1.5 to 2 hours a day at least. This, of course, was not in a single stretch, but throughout the course of the day. This is just an example of how our time goes without even us realizing. In our lives, we may have these pockets of time here and there that could be used wisely, with intention. Does it mean I'm saying you should plan for every minute? Of course not. All I'm saying is that if we wait for big chunks of time that will free up for us, we may end up waiting forever. So it's okay to start with one goal, see how to make it work, and then reap the benefits of the same. To summarize, we started with the timing for setting goals. Do you want to use start of the new year or your local festival to be the trigger for setting goals? Well, go for it. Then we discussed why we should set goals and examined some sample goals to understand what we should set as goals across the focus areas of work, home, etc. Then we looked at the importance of writing down these goals and the key elements we should capture against each one of the goals, namely SMART goal, action plan, and then grouping these actions into mini goals with timelines. Next, we looked at either setting up habits and using a habit tracker or setting aside time across each week to progress on the goals. We also discussed the importance of weekly planning. Then we talked about how many goals and how to spread it across the year and find time by examining how we currently spend our day. One thing I am clear, my friends, without defining it as a goal, launching a podcast would have just remained as a wish list for me. I am keen to know what goals you want to set or any specific challenges you face therein. You could write to me at krishna@thenewindianwoman.com or share the experiences with like-minded folks in the Facebook page facebook.com/newindianwoman. So here's to being the new Indian woman in this new year, discovering yourself and finding ways to achieve your dreams. I do hope you are listening to this episode on a podcast app. If you aren't, please install a podcast app, be it Castbox, Stitcher, Spotify, or TuneIn on an Android phone, or Apple Podcasts on iPhone. If you're listening on a podcast app already and have not subscribed yet, please click on subscribe. Lots of interesting episodes on various topics and conversations are lined up that you are likely to benefit from and enjoy listening to. Happy goal setting, friends!